Visionary. I'm going to go in and get out of the way so she can take it. And it's so noisy. Let me see where that's coming from. Okay, it must have been muted. So my name is Phyllis Nash. I'm your Chief Sales Officer as well as one of the 4 co-founders here at Wakanna. And we're going to get ready for our Wake Up to Wakanna with our CEO, Melissa Boston, someone I've known over 17 years. Excited to introduce her to you guys to let you know what's going on in our Wakanna world. And so without further ado, I want to bring up our CEO, someone that has been in the industry leading by example, being the MVP of 3 companies, building teams in over 46. But guess what, guys? It is only the beginning. We are ready to take off and blast out into the universe. So, Melissa Boston, are you out there?
Hey, I am out here, and good morning to everyone on the line. Oh my goodness, just getting back from Dallas, Texas. Wow, got back at the wee hours in the morning. Hey, guess what? We had some turbulence in the air, but I am here, super excited to be back in Chicago, but really didn't want to leave Dallas. It was that amazing just being there with all the leaders. So I'll definitely have some awesome updates on that. But Phyllis, thank you so much for all that you do. I mean, oh my goodness, it's always so exciting getting up and hearing your voice. I mean, our CSO, our first diamond, our first double diamond, helping all of us give birth to unlimited possibilities. And I can remember so vividly, okay, when we first met, and just to know what you did in the industry and all the things you've accomplished, the records you've broken, and how you've helped so many people succeed. I am still just in awe. And I want to thank you for all that you do, and just appreciate everyone for waking up this morning to Wakanna. Yes, it is Wakanna. The meaning of Wakanna: in the hands of God. Our mission is, we believe health, wealth, freedom, and legacy are our birthright. By offering the most life-changing products and innovative business, we empower people to elevate to their full potential. Our vision is to elevate the well-being of your body and soul. I'm telling you what, guys, we are here in this new month, right? I know last Monday, is our first day of the month. But, in the month of May, we know that all things are possible, okay? When you look around and you see all the colors that just seem to come out of nowhere, okay? It's kind of like in April here in Chicago. I know it's still a little bit bland, looks still much like winter, right? But all of a sudden in May, you really start to see that spring is here, whether we feel it in the temperature or not. And I was so excited to get off the flight and, coming out at about 2 a.m. and seeing that, oh my goodness, I didn't need a big winter coat. Okay. So it was actually in the 50s, but it really felt like it was in the 60s, guys. So there are so many reasons, we love May. Okay. It really also kicks off summer this month, right? The flowers are blooming. And guess what? Here in Chicago, we can finally start thinking about entertaining outdoors. Okay. I don't know about you. I know some of you guys are in warm months, so possibly you entertain all year long outdoors, but we really start thinking about that in this month, okay? And so we know that in this month, okay, all things new, in our company, we know that this is also the month when our 21 days is almost here, right? At conference, we talked about new everything. And this past weekend, oh my goodness, had a chance to share with all the crowd there, so many guests that were there, distributors that just weren't able to make it to Vegas, a lot of our Vegas team, a lot of the leaders that flew in from different parts of the country, even as far as Maryland, okay? But we were able to really share the excitement of what has been created and where we are about to go. And what was really exciting also, too, was just seeing the diversity, right? We talked about with Wakanna, we really wanted to move into a global brand, a global business, a business that would take us all around the world. And we're already seeing that because we had people there representing even different countries, okay? And so also, too, just before I get into Dallas, I want to also mention that there are some exciting Mother's Day specials. I know while we were traveling this weekend, I was watching the thread between our marketing team. I know they so many initiatives right now, so they're really focused on everything that was initiatives from the 21-day launch from conference. but they did have time to sneak in some Mother's Day specials, okay? So you're going to see some things hit the site regarding Mother's Day. I know they're even getting ahead of it for Father's Day, so you're going to see some stuff right after Mother's Day. Some things happen for Father's Day. I know Juneteenth is coming up, so just know that our marketing team, they are working nonstop, guys, on amazing deals that will be hitting the website. So make sure you stay tuned to your email. Make sure you check Facebook. But let's get back to this 420 lifestyle tour, okay? And it was exciting to kick it off with our very own, okay, diamond extraordinaires, okay? That's Gigi, okay, Gloria Harris. We call her Gigi. Okay, and then Alfred, her amazing husband. But it was just such an exciting event, okay? Gigi brought the house down, okay? Just power in her passion, her conviction, her beliefs, and just having so many phenomenal speakers, such an awesome lineup. I mean, it was really amazing, guys, because oftentimes, we do events, and events are always great, right? We always love doing events, but there's certain events you do, and it's always that thing that happens during the event and then after the event, and you look back and say, wow, that was amazing. And that happened at conference, right? And for me, what was exciting about here in Dallas is, being, a lot of times behind the scene, I was listening, but really not able to see, a lot of, the presenters. But I was so excited because I had a chance to sit in the front row, okay, there at the Dallas event and watch our amazing presenters just knock it out of the park. I mean, the guests didn't leave. I'm talking about held their attention from the time the doors opened. And we actually even were there to well past 5:30, 6 o'clock. I mean, people literally just didn't want to leave, okay? We finally left, had a chance to fellowship and go out to dinner with a lot of the team. But it was just so refreshing to get back out, right? See, with COVID, we've been on these Zoom events, and it's always great to see everybody's face via Zoom, but to just be there in person, to actually have a chance to reconnect with distributors that we've not really seen, some of them for a couple of years, right? In fact, some of them since the beginning of COVID. I mean, that was just so amazing. And I want to just really thank, Gigi, for having the vision, right? She actually booked this event, before we had our 420 conference. She said, listen, I want to get on the calendar. I want to get this event done. I want to do it right after conference. I want you to really get here, the team to get there and talk about what's going on with what we shared at the 420 conference. And that really was the spark for us to now call this the 420 Lifestyle Tour. Because what happened is after the crowd had a chance to be there and guests were excited and signing up and buying product, a lot of the leadership was there. And so I want to thank Dr. Eric Prince. I mean, he was there, shut it down. Really exciting, just the information that he was able to share. I took so many notes. I mean, it was awesome. Dr. Kimberly Smith O'Tree, oh my goodness. I mean, she shut it down, okay? Every person in that room who had any hesitation about CBD, okay? There was no hesitation. I mean, they were so excited. People were not just wanting to buy the flat belly, but really buying CBD. I mean, they were buying gummies and all kind of stuff right there on the spot, guys. So it was so awesome just getting that training, that validation from a medical perspective, what CBD has really done in her practice. And all the testimonials, right, regarding the high blood pressure. I mean, I was like blown away, guys. It was just so great. It was also awesome seeing Philip O'Tree there, her husband. In fact, the guys were really great at helping to ensure the flow went great. I mean, the whole day just flowed effortlessly. I mean, it was effortlessly. The scanners were there doing their thing. Many of them came in from different parts of the country. And so that was really great. But having, Philip, having Alfred, they're really helping to direct the flow. I mean, it was just a team effort. And then, of course, we had Dr. Rosalind Belt and Adrian. And Adrian, oh my goodness, stepped up too to help us keep that flow going. And Dr. Roz, she did a new training that many of you might have not seen yet, but she did a training regarding the digestive system. And that was awesome. It was so visually important to kind of see what happens when we take in all this animal consumption. And it was just so well received by the crowd. I mean, the crowd was just loving every minute of it. And I'm like, hey, this is definitely got to be a training that's a part of the roadshow because it is critical. It's important that people hear this. And so what I was witnessing is as every presenter was getting up, I said, wow, this is the roadshow. Okay, this is what we need to take around the country because it just kept the audience so engaged. It was entertaining. It was fun. We laughed. I mean, people just had a chance to share their stories. And then, of course, for those of you who've heard our own trichologist, Doris Mosley, I mean, she was in rare form, came there, shut it down. And it was exciting, too, because as she was presenting, some of the people who actually came late, they got a chance to see the last little portion. And so we had some of our guests who had came late. And this was actually some of our Caucasian community, okay? And so they had a chance to witness Doris. And what was exciting is when she was done, not only did they go get their scan and want to get all the flat belly products, guys, but they also wanted that scalp facial and all the products regarding and because it was just amazing when you think about it. When you think about, hair loss and how big that is, right? And how that's the new, what she calls epidemic, right? We were in a pandemic and now we're in this epidemic of hair loss. I mean, it really resonates with everyone because even if, like she said, you're not losing your hair that you can visually see, she said, chances are you're already losing your hair. You just don't know it yet. And that's kind of like that scared talk moment where you're like, wait a minute, am I losing my hair and I don't know it? Okay. And so she's able to scope you. And what's really great is we're about to certify 10 people so that you can also do the scope. In fact, the scopes are already in-house. They're already at our Wakanna headquarters. They're there. Okay. And so she's actually working on a curriculum. She's working on a program so that if you want to do what she's been doing, having these healing hair days, okay? If you know any hairstylists, this could be the perfect opportunity for you to get them in the business because they could be one of the first to bring the scope to the country and do just what we did when we started the flat belly and the scans, where we were bringing information to people that they had not been exposed to. And so this is going to be exciting. I mean, think about how many hairstylists you know, okay, that they can have scope days at their salon, bringing people in, former clients, just reconnecting. And then you can have a little station there about the flat belly because everybody wants a flat belly. I'm telling you what, folks, we've given you everything for you to put together a strategic plan and shut it down, okay? That's why there was so much excitement, leaving Las Vegas. And then we were able to duplicate that here in Dallas, just have such an amazing time because there's so much goodness on the table. You just have to understand how to operate it, how to go out there and market it. And what was really interesting, guys, is we also had another group that came in. And this group came in, they're networkers. I mean, they're big time networkers, right? And one of them showed up at the actual Dallas event. And he's from, I think it's Palestine, right? He's from Palestine. But then, and he's a master distributor in a company, right? But then another group came to what I call the after party, right? The after meeting, after the meeting, there's always one of those, right? They were not available on Saturday. And so when we had our mini little cookout, courtesy of Alfred Harris and Gigi Harris, they had a cookout at their home. So we were able to fellowship there and have an awesome time with Beatrice Foster, Wellness Coach B, who was also there. She flew in from Maryland, which was awesome. But we were there and, able to fellowship with also our COO, Christian Phillips. I'll talk a little bit about him in a moment. But these networkers, guys, came in, right? One of them, again, he's doing big stuff, million dollar earner, right? And they came in and, one of them was a medical doctor who came in from Mexico, okay? So she had flew in for this event they were having. And so there was another lady there who flew in from Mexico, but she's also living in Sacramento. And then some of them were living in Houston, right? But they were all there with him because they had some big event in San Antonio. So they missed our event. But then they came in and he convinced them, hey, listen, let's just stop by this house. You want to meet with the CEO. There's some leaders that are still there. So they stopped through. And, when, you first meet people, it was great energy. You can kind of sense, okay, these are amazing people that we definitely want to connect with. But as the day progressed, okay, and they had a chance to go sit out on the patio and learn their blood types, okay? And the doctor, who's not only a medical doctor in Mexico, but she's also a naturopath doctor. She does diagnosis for people by looking in your eyes. So she has machines to see what's happening in various parts of your body. And so she's already on that cutting edge, really into juicing, really into healthy living, right? The distributors there, oh my goodness, you can just tell. These are leaders, okay? You know the language, right? You know, game recognizes game, right? And I'm like, wow, this is a phenomenal crowd, right? And so we were sitting there, and all of a sudden, you know, Beatrice got the station set up so that she could do the blood types and the scans for them. And as they were getting their blood types, you know, the doctor looks and she says, oh my God. And she's Spanish, and she speaks probably 50% English, 50% Spanish. So she's really hard, you know, she has a hard time with English. And so they were translating. But she was asking them, and then they were translating to me about the blood type. She's like, is this a part of your system? Because it fascinated her. Because she's like, nobody is doing this. And so even though, again, these are networkers, very seasoned networkers in a company that they were having, I guess, great success with, what captured their interest and attention is we were doing something that no one else is doing, something they had never seen. And we're talking about some of them have been in networking for 34, 35 years, okay? Never seen anything like what we're doing. And so they did their blood types, and it was interesting, okay? It was 2 A's, 2 O's, and an AB, okay? And so they were eyes wide open, you know, especially the O's, because not understanding that corn, you know, is so bad for them. But yet, you know, again, that's a big staple in their community. But she recognized them, the medical naturopath said, wow, she says when she eats corn, and she was the O, she gets all this digestive irritation and challenges. And so, you know, so there was just that interesting moment where every single one of them had this eye-opening experience, especially the A's, right? Seeing their scan, right? And even before they did the test, what was also exciting is we kind of got this down to a science, right? We can ask you enough questions and pretty much know your blood type. Like I told the gentleman, I said, I know you're an O, right? The couple of ladies there said, you guys are A's. I said, I'm sure you're A's, right? Because they had all the classic, they answered the questions classically as an A would answer them. The one lady that I kind of wasn't sure, I said, you have a little bit of A, but there's something else going on. She was AB, okay? And so and they were just so blown away because what they started realizing is the science behind this is real. If we can start connecting questions to blood types before we even do the test, if we can look at aspects of your personality and say, oh, you're probably an O, you're probably an A, right? And ask enough questions, then it tells you that the science is real, guys. And we are on the cutting edge of something that is absolutely going to revolutionize and change the world. And that's the exciting part. And so the gentleman, he literally called up another guy. He said, this guy is a multi-gazillion dollar earner, Melissa. He said, he's big in Dallas. He says, oh my goodness. He said he's from over in United Kingdom. He said that's where he's from. So you're going to hear this heavy British accent. He said, but he's an African-American guy. He said he's a powerhouse, right? So he got him on the phone. He was in the middle of the lunch, but he was excited just by what he shared. And so we're going to be talking to him in the next day. In fact, they fly back to Dallas to meet with this guy because he's a big circle of influence, big center of influence, big record breaker. And so the point is, guys, is these are exciting times, right? This is the time where you better get focused, right? Because this train, right, is already moving. And I'm telling you what, when we talk about the rocket ship, when we talk about the bamboo tree, when we talk about that growth that's going to happen over the next 1 to 2 years, that's going to really solidify those who are here with us in the first 7 and become 80% of the top wealth that's created in this company, it's going to be the people that have not only the vision to see that this is an opportunity of a lifetime, but who take action, guys, who take massive action. And a part of taking action is personally developing yourself, and so that your mindset, right? It's really about the mindset. And the mindset coming off of a conference, right, should be parties, events, momentum, right? Really inspiring your team and really letting them understand that this is the time that you want to get moving, because you want to make sure that as now people start joining us from all walks of life, they can be a part of your team, because people join people who are exciting, right? People join people who are enthused, right? People join people who are action takers and who are making things happen. And so it's all about just painting a vision and getting excited, guys, and talking about painting a vision and getting excited. Wow. You know, I finally had a chance to see Dr. Stan Harris in person, Dr. Breakthrough. And I know in Vegas he had the boards he did, and I know that was spectacular. I'm telling you what, guys, something was happening in that room in Dallas. because he not only broke all the boards and did that, he had the concrete thing that he did, and that just blew my mind away. I mean, the whole time I was sitting there like super anxious, like, oh my goodness, just praying. I'm like, this is a lot of, I mean, can he do this, right? I mean, it was just a lot. But understanding that he's a 10th degree black belt, I mean, and the crowd was so moved and so inspired. And so that was just a great moment there in Texas. So we had an awesome time. And then, of course, guys, it's really for us about the next generation, right? We're looking at our kids and our millennials, right? And we're working with the Gen Zs. I mean, you're going to see a lot of this new energy infused into the company, okay? In fact, we had a chance to meet with other millennials there who were in the room. Some of them have already been connected. Some of them now are making a decision to connect, guys. But it's exciting times as we look at that group and what they can do, but really leading that charge for us, really leading that movement, right? And he's a part of this awesome tour, and that is none other than our Chief Operating Officer, Christian Phillips. It was really awesome having him in the room, that young energy, really helping to give the recognition, talking about the direction and a lot of the tools that have been created to take this company to the next level. And so we had a real good time sharing with the crowd. Of course, he was in Texas, so he was in heaven. He just finished his cleanse, and now being in Texas, which is like they do everything bigger in Texas. The food is bigger, okay? So it was like having a kid in Candyland, okay? So he definitely enjoyed himself, but it was just a phenomenal time, and I really want to thank the entire team, thank all the leadership there. I know some of our Ruby rock stars were there. I know Beatrice also got recognized as a Ruby rock star along with Michelle Stewart, because both of them won the trip to Vegas as Rubies, right? And so we had a chance to hear from them from the stage, and they shared, their awesome testimonials. And I'm telling you what, I can see going back to Dallas really, really soon, guys. But, with this tour, we want to hit other areas too. I know Dr. Kim got fired up. She says, oh my goodness, can we bring this to Louisiana? It's like, yes, we can, okay? And so we're going to be working out the details on that. We're going to take this now to Houston, Texas, since we know that crew showed up and showed out, because Dr. Roz not only came there with Adrian, which was awesome, but a lot of the teammates from Houston came and plugged in. Tomorrow, it was great seeing you. I mean, driving in from Houston, Texas, right? So that was awesome just to see people, there. Also, too, guys, we had set up a meeting, and it's amazing how things work, because, as we're looking at our business, we know we've handled the $1 million month, right? We know we've handled those months we've done 865,000, right? But we're now looking at the $2 million month, right? The $3 million month, okay? And so someone, we had that chance encounter where someone introduced us to someone who we just kind of clicked right on the phone. He ordered the cleanse, but he's also an owner, right? He's an owner in manufacturing, fulfillment. He's been a top distributor. He's been a master distributor. He's owned network marketing companies. So he's a true boss, right? And so, while we're there, let's go by, let's meet him, and we are, not having a high expectation of what we're walking into, but just, again, we're always open to meeting people, to having a chance to see, really where they're at. And when we walked into his 200,000 square foot facility, guys, 200,000 square foot facility, 50-year-old company. Okay, so he's a partner in this company. There's other owners as well, but it blew us away. And they're looking for, guess what, a partner in the network marketing space. And guess who they're looking at, guys? They're looking at us. Okay, and it was exciting. Somebody's got some noise back there. It was exciting because at the end of the day, right, we know that it's always about right time, right place, and this whole connecting of the dots and being open, right, not having a closed mind. That's the most expensive thing you can own in business. And so as we had a moment to meet with him and his team, right, as they came in to meet with me, and then Gigi was there, so she had a chance to be in the room, right, and she was like, wow. We took a tour of the facility. And what was so amazing, guys, is, we love, our flat belly product. That's our number one selling product. But we also know that whether we're working with the lab or in our fulfillment center, it is the most labor-intensive product, right? We know that in order to scale, we've got to move this into an area in which we can really take things and scale it. And so, and we know, at the end of the day, yeah, we can do Team No Sleep, We can do a lot of things and things get done and we're able to meet objectives. But we really want to look at where we move to when we're doing 10 million a month, when we're doing $30 million a month, as we go to $1 billion. And to know that we've walked into a partnership, guys, a fulfillment center, that they've already invested millions of dollars in equipment, right? Equipment where we can put 2,000 pounds of our flat belly product into this huge vat, right? And all of a sudden, there's machines they've already invested in that actually takes that powder, fills it up in the bag, and it does the sealing and everything. I was just so blown away because I knew that that was another God moment, because I'm like, oh my goodness, guys, when you go out and ask, you shall receive, right? When there's a vision, there's going to be a provision, because what it helps show us that as we're in this state right now, where we're growing, we're bringing in networkers, we're bringing in people who in 1 month, right, when they go ahead and put their metal to the pedal, right, can crank out $1 million. And you have multiple people doing that, right? And now you at that 10 million, we now have seen the pathway to true scaling. Now, we've met with other companies, right? We've met with other operations who can do something good, right? So we already had some plans in the works. But to see that this was actually the solution for both short-term, mid-term, and long-term, because not only do they have that machine that can run thousands of pounds, but they also have the ones that can run 200 pounds, 300 pounds, right? So as we're right now in our $400,000, $500,000, $1 million months, guess what? They have machines that can do the smaller bats as we grow to the bigger production. And I'm telling you what, guys, this is just that confirmation, okay? The confirmation that everything we needed would fall in our path. And that's what's happened, folks. As we dreamed of Wakanna, that then turned into Wakanna, as we went from the gift that God gave us, which is Wakanna, to being in God's hands, which is Wakanna, all the provision that we needed is right there, and things that are happening that can only happen if it was touched, right, by our Creator, right? And so we understand that. And so I know you can feel the excitement. You can feel what's coming. You know, I know the new video, we had a chance to show the lower thirds is what our production team calls. Those are added where they put the titles of people and all that kind of stuff. They had to make a couple little tweaks or whatever. We show that in Dallas, guys. And so that's going to be loaded to our Wakanna YouTube channel, which launches this week. The new website, right? We're now in that 7-day countdown, okay, for the new website. So next Monday, when I jump on the line, guess what? You're going to be able to see our new Wakanna.com. It's going to be here, okay, which is exciting. Travel is already here. So if you did get your luggage, check your spam, guys. Your login is going to be your email, and then they put a temporary password. So get with us if you don't see it yet, but it's exciting because we're already using that portal. We're already saving money. We're already seeing the discounts and savings. And if you purchase the luggage, guys, guess what? Your access is already ready for you. Also, too, the elevation drops are on the site. The protein shake, I know there were just a couple things with that they were tweaking, but I know you're going to have access to that this week, guys, so you can start getting your orders in. Also, too, if you did order the luggage, we're sending you out a complimentary sample of that so that you can have a chance to be some of the first people to try that amazing shake. And then, of course, this is the month of May, and we know that this is when all things are possible. So we found on the table a 10% discount on all your retail orders. And so with that being said, you know, I want to also remind you that we have started the qualification period on March the 1st all the way through June 30th. So will you join us? In fact, the points are already calculating. We see there's a few of you that are getting so close. We don't want to leave anyone off this morning and just getting back. We haven't had a chance to audit the list. So we will be putting those numbers out there on Facebook once we audit those to see who exactly has already won, okay? Because, yes, can you believe it? A few people have already won, and we still have our best days ahead of us, and that is super, super exciting. And so with that said, guys, you know, we are here in May, and so we pray that your May will be brighter, right? This new month will be more successful, okay? Brings more inspiration, more love, more happiness, more peace than ever, okay? So we say happy new month, and we're just wishing you so much greatness this month. as you push forward in this new business where everything becomes new together. The new season, our new business is just the perfect time for us to really launch everything that we've had the phenomenal team working on behind the scenes over the last 7 to 8 months, guys. And so with that being said, we want to also remind you to join reboundwithwakanna.com so that you can jump on and get your rebound on, get your exercise on. That happens Monday through Saturday at 8:30 a.m. Central, and then save our strands with our very own trichologist, Doris Mosley, at 2:30 p.m. Central today, 7:30 p.m. That's our corporate Zoom. But guess what, guys? In addition to that Zoom that kicks off for the presentation at 8 o'clock, we talked about this certification coming up. We've talked about this new weekly meeting coming up, right? So there's a lot of things underway. And so you want to definitely mark your calendar so that you don't miss out on anything that happens this month. We want to also remind you to set your alarm for the Diamond Factory, guys. That's happening tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Central. And with that being said, we want you to have an Wakanna day, okay? Because we're going to see you at the top, the very top, the tip top. And yes, this time we are busting through the top. Have an amazing day.